This is the place where unbelievable stories, legendary performances, and unforgettable moments from the world's biggest talent stages come to life in a way you've never experienced before. Make sure to stay till the end of this video, because today's story is one that shook America's Got Talent, mesmerized millions of people around the world, and turned one artist into a global phenomenon with nothing but a single, breathtaking song. It began on a summer evening, inside the iconic AGT studio, where thousands of hopeful contestants had already walked the stage. Some had dreams, some had talent, some had confidence, but none had the stillness, the mystery, and the quiet fire that this one singer carried as he stepped into the spotlight. No one in the audience knew his name yet. No one understood how deeply the next few minutes would echo through the internet, through social media, through the hearts of fans worldwide. All they knew was that something different was about to happen. The judges sat in their seats, accustomed to surprises, failures, and once-in-a-lifetime breakthroughs. Simon leaned back, arms folded, observing the man standing on stage with nothing but a microphone and a calm expression. Heidi watched closely, sensing a storm beneath the silence. Sophia tilted her head, trying to understand the energy he carried. And Howie, ever curious, wondered aloud if this performance would stand out or fall flat. No one could predict what was about to unfold. The singer took a slow breath, not in nervousness, but in preparation. And when he opened his mouth, everything changed. The first note rose gently, almost fragile, like a whisper floating through the air. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it didn't demand attention. It invited it. The entire studio fell silent instantly. Audience members froze mid-clap, mid-whisper, mid-breath. The judges straightened in their seats. Cameras zoomed in, sensing a moment that needed to be captured with absolute precision. Because this wasn't just a voice. It was a story. It was emotion. It was pain, hope, heartbreak, and beauty, all wrapped inside a sound so pure it almost didn't feel human. Every note shimmered, rose, and fell like the tide. Every lyric seemed lived, not sung. Every second felt like the world had slowed down to listen. This was the power of a single song delivered by an artist who understood music at its deepest level. As the melody unfolded, you could see reactions blooming around the room like sparks from a fire. A woman in the crowd covered her mouth in disbelief. A man wiped his eyes, trying not to let the tears fall. Even backstage, contestants forgot about their own auditions, gathering around the monitor, stunned into silence. They knew they were witnessing something rare, something that doesn't happen in every season, or even every show. It was the kind of voice that made strangers feel connected, made emotions rise uninvited, made silence sacred. Halfway through the performance, something incredible began to happen. People leaned forward unconsciously. The judges' expressions shifted from curiosity to awe. And Simon, the critic known for harsh truths, looked genuinely moved. He lowered his hands from his face, leaned toward the stage, and watched with an intensity rarely seen. Every note held the room captive. As the singer approached the climax of the song, there was no strain, no hesitation, no unnecessary drama. He simply let the music flow through him, as if he had been waiting his entire life for this one moment to let the world hear what his heart had carried for years. And then came the final note. It rose high, strong, and impossibly clean, filling the studio with a resonance that made every single person in the room feel something deep. Something personal. And when that final note faded into silence, the world seemed to freeze. For 3 full seconds, no one moved. No one clapped. No one breathed. It was the rarest reaction any performer can receive, pure, stunned silence born not from confusion, but from total emotional overwhelm. Then, as if the entire room woke up at the same time, the audience erupted into applause so powerful it shook the studio. Cheers, screams, standing ovations. The judges rose to their feet instantly. Heidi looked emotional. Sophia applauded with her whole heart. Howie was smiling ear to ear. And Simon, he didn't stand at first. He watched the singer with an expression that only appears when he knows he has discovered someone extraordinary. Then, slowly, he rose from his seat, a gesture he reserves for very few performers, and joined the standing ovation. When the applause finally softened, Simon leaned into his microphone and delivered one of the most unforgettable comments in AGT history. He said that there are singers who perform songs, singers who feel songs, and then there are singers who become the song. What he witnessed on that stage was not performance, it was transformation. And that, he said, is what separates great artists from legendary ones. The other judges echoed similar sentiments. Heidi expressed how deeply the voice reached into her heart. Sophia admitted she had chills from start to finish. Howie marveled at how one song could contain so much power. The crowd cheered louder with each word, as if validating every compliment. Then came the vote. But this time, something unprecedented happened. Before any judge could begin the formal voting, the audience started chanting. It began softly, then grew louder, then filled the entire studio. Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer. The judges looked at each other, surprised but amused. The chant grew stronger, echoing like a tidal wave. Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer. And that's when Simon made the decision. Without breaking eye contact with the singer, he reached forward, slammed the golden buzzer, and unleashed a storm of shimmering gold from the ceiling. The studio exploded with celebration. The singer covered his face, overwhelmed. The audience roared. The judges applauded. The stage lit up like a dream unfolding in real time. Golden confetti swirled around him as the music played, wrapping him in a moment that would live forever on YouTube, on television, in the hearts of millions. Because this wasn't just a good performance. This was the moment a star was born. In the hours following the broadcast, social media went wild. Clips of his audition were shared across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at lightning speed. Fans created edits, reaction videos, covers, and heartfelt messages. Articles began circulating, calling him the new voice of a generation. Radio stations requested interviews. Music producers reached out. His name became a trending topic worldwide. And why? Because one song, sung with absolute sincerity, honesty, and soul, can change everything. Comments poured in from people across the globe. Some said the performance healed them. Some said it brought them comfort during difficult times. Others said it reminded them of love, loss, or memories they thought they had buried. This was not just singing, it was storytelling through sound. It was emotional communication at its purest level. The judges continued to praise him throughout the season. Every performance he delivered carried the same emotional fingerprint, powerful yet gentle, intense but never forced. His vocal control, his artistry, his connection to every lyric made each song feel personal, as if he was giving a piece of himself to the audience every time. But even as the competition progressed, fans around the world continued to return to that first audition. Because there is something magical about the moment when an unknown artist stands on a stage, opens their heart, and forever changes their destiny. A single song. One voice. Millions of hearts touched. And behind the scenes, the singer revealed that the song he performed was one he had held close for many years. It was not just music. It was a part of his life, his struggles, his journey. Every element of that audition, the stillness, the vulnerability, the emotional depth, came from a real place. And that's why it hit so deeply. That's why it resonated with millions. Because authenticity cannot be faked. And when it shines like nothing else. As the video passed tens of millions of views, then hundreds of millions, celebrities, musicians, vocal coaches, and industry legends commented on his talent. Some said his voice had an angelic quality. Others praised his emotional resonance. Many said that his audition was one of the greatest in America's Got Talent history. And still, through all the fame, all the attention, all the viral success, the singer remained grounded. He often expressed gratitude to the fans, to the judges, and to anyone who supported his journey. He said that music had always been his refuge, and he hoped it could be a refuge for others. And indeed, it was. People listened to his audition during their toughest nights, their happiest mornings, their moments of reflection. Some used it to heal. Some used it to dream. Some played it simply because it made them feel something real. This is the impact of true artistry. As we look back at the performance, one thing becomes clear: talent shows are not just competitions. They are platforms for magic, for moments that define careers, touch hearts, and become part of pop culture forever. The singer who captivated millions with just one song did not need fireworks or dancers or elaborate staging. He needed only his voice, his heart, and the courage to share them with the world. And sometimes, that is more than enough. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most unforgettable auditions in AGT history, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your favorite moment from this performance. Your support helps us bring you more stories that celebrate extraordinary talent, incredible journeys, and the power of music that moves the soul. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.